It is.
What's up, everyone? I'm so glad that you're joining me this week. I'm your host, Ryan McCarty. We talk about everything people, culture, engagement. So this week, I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to Champion Your Culture. All right. Welcome back to Champion Your Culture. So good to have you all on here. I know giving 30 minutes of your day sometimes feels like a lot. So George and I are always happy when you jump on with us. George, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, I am live. I'm coming to you live via podcast here in Tennessee, just North Tennessee. I'm attending a tech conference for the educational space, man. So it might get a little bit rowdy behind me or around me, but I'm glad to be joining everybody live. I'm excited about the conversation today, as always, bringing some fire, bringing some passion, and we're just here to champion your culture.
Yeah, because when we talk about culture, we're talking about really how most people feel, how they believe and behave most of the time. So, really, when we say champion your culture, we're talking about how to really champion people really well, like really, really well. And both George and I know how to do this. We've been doing it for a really long time. Both of us have had similar paths in the past. We were both pastors and had to learn how to really engage people on a soul level. So when we talk about bringing your soul to work and knowing why you do what you do every single day, that is so important. And those of you that jump on with us every week, I know that you're the champions out there. You're doing the work, and I want to encourage you and support you. And George and I want to definitely champion you today in what you're doing. George, where you at? You keep muting yourself, man. Don't mute, man. Don't mute. You keep phasing off, bro. I saw you.
Checking. I'm chatting in the chat. I'm trying to see who's in the chat with us.
Today. All right.
Oh, well, yeah. So I'm just trying to see who's there with us talking to me. Hey, if you're live with us right now, talk to me. I especially want you guys to join in the conversations. Drop some questions. Tell us where you're from. We got Chris all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, that's joining us this morning. So yeah, I'm just in the chat, man. I'm just trying to function, bro.
No, that's totally cool. You don't have to mute yourself though. It's all good, man. We know it's crazy over there. Yeah, definitely. If you're on with us, make sure that you comment, send some love out. We'll send some love back. Share this with someone if you're interested. Every week is sponsored by Culture of Good, and I just want to say that because our Culture Champion certification is coming up very soon, just in a few weeks, on July 27th through the 29th. It's 3 days. It's packed full of training, immersed in the training tools and the tactics that you need to grow a culture of good that champions people, that really, really builds a type of culture that engages not only people's minds, but also their hearts, right? Like right. That's important to us. So if you're interested in learning more about that, we've only got a few spots left, and time is short. So just a real quick blurb about it. It's $2,000. You can spread that out over 12 months. It's $167 a month, and you get 12 months access to all of our tools. Not only the 3 days training, I mean, that's included in it. Personalized training. You'll go back to your workplace with a strategy on how to implement building a culture of good. It'll help your recruitment, your retention, any staffing. Essentially, it's one way, streamlined way to engage your employees, your customers, and your community in one streamlined effort. So if you want to know more information about that, time is really short. We only have a few spots left. If you have any interest at all, go on cultureofgood.com or championyourculture.com and find out more information about that. All right, today's topic, George, you're excited about it. Why are you excited about it?
I think it's important. As we discuss all things, champion your culture. I think there's some aspects of growing and developing and really mastering uh, all areas, right, of the community and the network and the growth department. And so, as we talk about, we got some points that we kind of kicked around, literally, so everybody knows this is not practice. This it comes off the top of the head. We got some outline of what we really kind of want to do, but never get to it. But I'm excited to really give some good content today that people can take some notes and get some value out of this conversation. And as we plug and connect with, listen, anything that we say today, you can have access to with Champion Your Culture, our event going on July 27th through the 29th, live in Indianapolis. I'm excited about that. So just a little teaser today of everything, really the hands-on training and the value that you're going to have and the access to myself, Ryan, and even Shannon over the course of the year, and opportunities, Ryan, you didn't mention, but I know the opportunities that continue to be a part of that network even after that year. And so the value is just incredible. So let's jump into it, man, and help everybody understand how to connect with their members and the values and the mission and things of that nature. What's some things that come to your head as we talk about this?
Well, definitely when we're talking about this specific topic, I can't tell you how many times I talk to those that run associations, member organizations, and are looking for ways to engage their members now. And really what I'm hearing is not engagement, is re-engagement. It's that the engagement efforts prior to the pandemic really aren't, they're just simply not working in the same way that they did before. And specifically when we're talking about building associations in terms of the recruitment, the retention, and the growth, we have to start recognizing that if we continue to rely on the same tactics that we did in the past, nothing's going to change. And so associations, those that are leading those, and you can take these same themes throughout any type of organization. So if you're responsible for recruitment and retention in your business, this is going to be really good points that I think are going to build into what you need to grow your membership and grow your engagement, either within your business or within your association. When we talk about associations, we could be talking about trade associations where you have multiple companies in the same industry. It's a network of everyone coming together. And really to be able to build a recruitment strategy, it has to be more than just simply saying, this is what we offer, these are some of the perks and benefits. We really have to begin to know who our members are, really understand what it means when we're putting our association, marketing it, getting it out there, letting people know about it, getting involved in our members' lives and engaging them on an ongoing basis. It's really important to first understand who your members are, understand what are their motivations, what makes them tick, why would they want to be engaged. And quite frankly, George, I think it's important to start with, what are we asking members, employees, staff, customers, what are we asking them to be a part of? What is the one central theme or the soul of your organization that you're saying, this is what we want you to be a part of? I think that's so important.
Sure. You said something earlier on, Ryan, that really triggered my thought is, doing the same thing and expecting different results, right? That insanity feature. And it's that same thing. I love it. And I share this with you. Whenever I'm going through something in life or I'm stressed or I just need to get some me time, I just love the drive. I like to take back roads, country roads, whatever it may be. And man, that's my therapy. Just windows down and maybe a little Frank Sinatra or something, chill and instrumental, some old school Nappy Roots or KRS-One, pin the divide, maybe some Journey. It just depends on the mood. I mean, I just love to do that. And one of the reasons why I did that is because growing up, we always took the same streets in the inner city. There are certain roads you didn't want to go down, right? But I got tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over, getting to the same place every single day. So the moment I got my license or I was able to do my own routes, I wanted to experience something different. And so in order to experience something different, you got to take a different route. And then when we talk about culture and our associations and things of that nature, if you've done what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. If you want to experience something different, you got to bring in something new, take a different route, take a different turn to really experience those things. And I think that's really what it's all about as we infuse that with culture and how it impacts those around you, right?
Mm, that's so good, man. I think, that idea of taking a different route allows us to understand that we may have the same destination that we're going toward, but
Yeah.
there's so much that can be learned in the journey of trying
Yep.
something different and recognizing that, hey, it's not just about, hey, let's invite people to get involved. It's going beyond invitation. Now check this out, because this is what we're talking about, that things come to us as we're talking on this podcast. It's how do we go beyond invitation to inspiration? So when we talk about recruitment, when we talk about retention, staffing, anything internally, we have to first know who our members are, know who our team members are, know them really well, be able to analyze that information. Are we generally dealing with more extroverts or introverts, those that are working remotely from home or maybe from coffee shops? Do we get together collectively every month, or what is that ongoing engagement look like because of the type of members or employees that we have, and recognizing that it's important to know who they are, and then to be able to say, all right, what's inspiring to our current members, right? Not just what value do we bring. Now, the value is important. You got to know the value that you bring. You invite people in because, hey, if you're a part of this association, or if you join our company, here's some of the perks and benefits. But at the end of the day, really, we're also talking about not just knowing what you do, but knowing why you do it and inspiring people, because it's in the inspiration that's truly the invitation, right? Like, as people are inspired, they're going to want to be a part of what's going on. So you got to know more than just, hey, this is what we add as value, but here's our values, here's our mission, here's our
Right.
purpose, right? Like, this is what matters to us. And if this matters to you, it sounds like we have the same heartbeat. And if our heart beats at the same pace, then maybe we're supposed to do some good together.
You know what?
That's different.
It's true that you say the heartbeat joining together. You remember that movie Drumline? It was like one beat,
Yeah.
one band, and it's the unison and the unity and the power of that. That one heartbeat is so incredible. I want to talk, and I want to jump into this because I know this is kind of really where we want to go. And I'm gonna throw this question at you, Ryan. When we talk about the 4 points that we want to talk about, and let's hit on the predictable type things. What are some of those predictable ways that we can give some practical lessons to our tips to our people that's watching live with us right now, or maybe you're watching on the recorded portion of this? What are some things that we can give value when we talk about predictable pieces that we can do with the connection of our associations and memberships, and even in the companies?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of our recruitment efforts, that's a great idea around predictability. A lot of our efforts, there's a lot of effort within the efforts, right? So overall, when we're recruiting, there's a lot of things that we're needing to keep in mind. Who are our members? What value do we bring? What's our mission? All of those kind of things. What are our values? What value do our members have? Those type of things. What we do need to understand is everyone's coming out of the pandemic traumatized. We hold trauma in our bodies, whether we address that or not. We are traumatized. We've lost friends, family. We've talked about this on the podcast, and there's so much uncertainty. There's so much tumultuous change happening in society, in the world. There's constant changing. And so in the midst of trauma, in the midst of us coming out of tragedy, and maybe not even just coming out of it, being in the middle of it, people are grasping for certainty. They're grasping for things that feel predictable. And when we have a predictable calendar event, so at Culture of Good, what we teach is to have some type of community effort that we call Big Good that happens on a quarterly basis. And this is how we re-engage members and re-engage employees, and companies re-engage employees, and associations can do the same, is that every single quarter across the country, whether it's remote workers or not, everyone's collectively doing the same good in their community, either by team or individually, but then they're sharing those stories leading up to it. And then afterwards, and they're engaging every single quarter. So it's 4 times a year. There's an effort that re-engages everyone on a soul level. And not only are you able to do that, but you're able to network outside of your current members and really those network groups that you're a part of, and invite them to be a part of that as well. So you're building and growing your membership by recruiting through inspirational moments on a quarterly basis. That's how we do the predictability. We not only just have, marketing and social media. We know we need to do all that. Everyone needs to know what's going on. But predictably, what happens every single quarter that everyone can count on, that they know every single quarter we're going to re-engage with this association that we're a part of. Listen, they pay membership fees. They need to know their value, but part of that is how are they re-engaging on a quarterly basis? So rather than looking at it weekly, make sure that everyone collectively is not just engaging with you, but engaging with one another. That's the difference. Is let's stop recruiting people just to join us, but let's cultivate opportunities predictably where people can join together on a quarterly basis, do good together that inspires them. You invite customers, new members that aren't a part of what you're doing, and that grows that work. So long answer to what seems like a simple question, but if you look at your strategy, your recruitment strategy, what I would challenge anybody out there to do, whether you're in HR or leading a recruitment strategy at all, to make sure that there's predictable moments of inspiration every quarter. That is, to summarize it, that would be predictable. The second thing is certainty, right? It kind of feeds into predictable, add some certainty because it feels structured. It feels like this is not going to be another flavor of the month, but our leaders are connected and engaged to it. And it's certain because the leaders are involved, not just one person doing all the recruiting, but how is everyone collectively involved? Is there certainty? Is there leadership buy-in? And are the top tier leaders, as we would call, like the executive team, VPs, even middle management, all collectively, those leaders that are leading teams throughout your organization, are they a part of it? Do the teams feel certainty that this isn't going to be something that's going to last for a few months and then it's just another program that's going to fade away? And yeah, we asked people to volunteer in their community, but nothing happened. This is about championing people and culture. It's embedding a predictable, ongoing engagement on a quarterly basis with certainty, because right now everything's uncertain. So that's a big part of what we like to see built up into any type of staffing or recruitment membership strategy, that there's certainty involved in that.
Yeah, when I hear everything that you're saying, Ryan, another word that pops in my head is how can we be consistent, right?
Yeah.
When there's uncertainty, there's no consistency. And really, success always follows consistency, right? Whether it's a good success or a negative situation, whatever you're consistent at, you'll be successful at the outcome, right? It's going to happen over and over and over. It boils down to really understanding what is your primary aim for your association, for your business and your membership, and having that experience that would benefit not just the customers, but those internal customers, right? Those people who are on the staff and on the team that's really pushing this vision forward. One of the things that I always understood when it comes to, especially in the franchise model, we both has experience there. You with the Verizon TCC side, where Culture Good was really founded and built upon. Myself in the wireless side with retail stores. one of the things that I always notice, Ryan, is that as we travel, and we're both keynote speakers, so we've been all over internationally, nationally in the States, the consistency of the pickles at McDonald's, the Big Mac in Indiana tastes the same as it does here in Tennessee, as it
Right.
does over in San Diego, California, and the pickles are in the center. There's consistency there. When I go to Jimmy John's to get me a unwich, right? The consistency is when I open up that door, I hear "Welcome to Jimmy John's" every time.
Now
right?
you're talking. Okay, you said two different things. I don't want to interrupt you, but one thing is
Yep.
product and one thing is
Yep.
culture.
Right.
See what I'm
Right.
saying? So we
Yep.
can have predictable products.
Yep.
Like that's a given. If your products
Mhm.
are shit half the time, then yeah, we can't even talk culture. We're talking like, okay, the Big
Exactly.
Macs are the same. You got the same damn pickles. Now what? Right? Like
Right.
it's what you're talking about. Go back. The
Yep.
Jimmy John's are like, yeah.
So now you have a business, you have that predictability on what you're producing. Then it becomes what you said, and that's the culture aspect of it. And it has to have that same consistency. The problem, though, Ryan, that I see that I feel like we can bring value to people and organizations, and what we're trying to tell everybody here today is that you can have a predictable, consistent product. But if you want to change not only those people in your community and that world, you got to have a predictable and consistent culture. And
Mhm.
that first start, and we both know where it starts. It always starts at the head, right?
Yeah.
If leadership is not bought in, if leadership is not setting an example, the consistency will never run forward. And you have to have that consistency there. And that's something that is of value and of importance for everybody to really buy into.
Yeah, the idea of leadership being consistent is so important because really if they're not, then your culture is a consistent culture of inconsistency, right? People don't know what to grab a hold of because they put effort into something, and then 2 months later it's completely different. And so what are we doing that's consistent as leaders in building that certainty within the culture that's predictable? And then as we're continuing to build on that is knowing, how do we then continue to grow that, right? Like not just in terms of the recruiting, but how are we growing the ongoing engagement of those that haven't yet connected, that haven't yet known? And when we talk about inspiration, we're saying, how is your recruitment strategy and retention strategy? How is it sensory? Right? How are the senses of your member? That's why knowing your members and knowing those potential members is really important, because like you said, for you like to take a break and go on a long ride because of that. That's you, right? So individually, that makes you an individual, and being able to connect and engage with you. It might be, hey, I know George loves when he ever hears the song by Journey. So when he comes into work on Tuesday morning, I'm gonna have my boombox out there, right? And you remember the boombox with the tapes, and I'm gonna set it out there. Yeah, the big ghetto blaster, man, like up here, like Brooklyn, and and I'm gonna have that Journey song playing as George walks in the door, right? And so things like that are really fun, but also like knowing people that it goes beyond just hearing, a sense of sight, seeing, like all of those things are important, like recognizing like we are sensory. We need to rehumanize recruitment, but also the sixth sense. It's right in here. It's what we talk about in Champion Your Culture all the time. It's your soul. It's what compels us to want to do something that we haven't done before, to change something, to be transformed, to join a new movement, to join like people that we're talking to about the Champion Your Culture movement and coming and being certified. It's really like what compels them to move, and they're feeling that they're getting something that they wouldn't get anywhere else. And I think one of the best ways to do that, and we've seen this time and time again, is to pack our recruitment and retention strategies packed full of purpose. What is your mission? Not what are your 12 values? What do you care about? Not we care about people and put people. What is your mission? How is it inspiring? How is it sensory? How is it predictable? How is it certain? And in all of those things, when we start to qualify our strategy by those particular qualities, right? Predictability, certainty, packed full of purpose, all of those things. Are they sensory? All that's essential to ensuring that we have a consistent effort happening that's really going to encourage people and inspire them to be a part of something that really up to this point they may have never even considered to be of value to them. But now all of a sudden they recognize, hey, that's a mission I can get behind, right? They might not be able to get behind every product, solution, your marketing, your social media, but really at the end of the day, if you have a mission, one centralized mission that we teach at Culture of Good, right, to make sure that you're making the workplace and world better, and that resonates with potential future contributors, members, employees, also those that are current, know that there's certainty around that and they can be a part of something bigger than themselves. It's so packed full of purpose and mission.
It is, man. I think really, and I'm kind of stuck on. I love to. I know we can talk about a lot of things and just dig into it. But I really want.
No, we can't. We got 4 minutes left.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Dig fast, brother.
I want to talk about. I just want to ask you one last question. When we talk about that filled with purpose, what does that look like, right? What does it look like to be filled with purpose? And if somebody was to walk away and say, hey, I'm part of our champion, our culture, team, or I'm part of the HR department, or I'm helping out to bring value, right? How would you encourage somebody, or how would you teach somebody that portion of what it means to filled with purpose?
Yeah, this goes beyond all the business jargon and here's our mission on our website that's got 8,000 words. We're talking about like, okay, I'll share the mission of Culture of Good is to champion leaders that champion people, right? That's what we do. We champion those leaders. So that's why we do the training on July 27th through the 29th, all of it. That's our mission, right? At the end of the day. So when we're recruiting, when we're asking people to be a part of it, what we're saying is this is what we do. This is what we're headed toward. All of our strategy, all of our content, all of our social media, our website, about us, our values, all of that we're asking and inspiring and inviting people to be a part of should all have connected tissue to our mission. Everything should lead to our greater purpose. All of our decision-making as an organization, how we present ourselves should lead toward the accomplishment, because if it doesn't, then I have to question, is that really the mission of the business? Now, there might be some of you that are out there that are saying, well, I don't even know the mission of our organization. Well, that's why we exist at Culture of Good, because we can help you find that one statement that is the mission of your organization and then help you to really define and begin to subscribe a strategy into your business that can become embedded, that becomes that culture that we're talking about that's so important. Pack it full of purpose by making sure that every effort that you're doing within your business is somehow tied in and leading toward the mission, which again is not this long drawn out statement. It's the very core of why you exist. Why you exist. That's your culture, purpose. That's your force for good. That's how you pack it full of purpose.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So we want to make sure and challenge people and remind people, obviously, Champion Your Culture, July 27th through the 29th, Indianapolis, Indiana. $2,000. We do have payment plans. I believe about $167 a month. Is that right, Ryan?
Yeah, and we only got a few spots left. So seriously, this is transformative. I cannot tell those that are listening enough. This is not going to change your business. This is going to enhance everything that's good about it. So don't think of this as, okay, now that I start to build a culture of good, it's going to be something, we're going to have to change everything in our company. No, we're going to find all the bright spots, all the good stuff that you're doing. Building a culture of good takes all the good that you're doing, and it just makes your company and your business gooder. Yeah, I said gooder.
Gooder, gooder. That's awesome, man. So some of my
Gooder.
key points that out of all our conversation is really discussing when we're talking about this, providing a target, valuable content that's going to be consistent, predictable. All right, we're going to make sure you simplify that path to memberships or growth or whatever it may be your association, if you're starting one or joining one or a part of one on the board. And then really, I would call it almost an incentive. Why do I really want to be connected with you? What is the benefit, right? What am I going to get out of it? What's the value out of that, that portion of it? So I'm excited, man. I appreciate, as always, you allow me to join this audience. We had a lot of great people. We appreciate everybody in the audience that's joining and streaming. Your comments, your questions, we'll get to them. Keep this conversation going on. Ryan and I.
Let's keep talking about this.
And drop off, and we'll be in the chat. Any questions that you may have about today's topic, anything culture, we're all about it, and we want to help you and serve you. If you have more information or you want more information, feel free. We can jump on a discovery call to give you more information about Champion Your Culture and you becoming a certified licensed culture champion. If you want more information about that, I know Ryan has all the time in the world, and he'll take some time.
I do. Well, also, like if you comment on LinkedIn or anywhere out there, and you just simply say, "Hey, send me the info packet," we'll do a private message. I'll send you the info packet. You can review it, and there's a QR code that you can scan and register if it fits, right? July 27th through the 29th, Champion Your Culture. Thanks for jumping on the podcast. Next week, we've got some really cool topics. We're going to get into some different industry stuff. We're going to bring Shannon into the convo next week. She's going to talk about organizational change management, how to lead change. All of us need it. Join us next week for Champion Your Culture.